안녕! Welcome to the 7th lesson in this series. In the last part, we learned 4 new vowels, which were the last 4 vowels that we'll need to learn. In this video, we'll learn about 2 new types of syllable blocks. We'll also do some more practice using everything that we've learned so far. So let's get started. First, let's take a look at the other previous syllable blocks that we've learned. We've learned a total of 4 syllable blocks, 2 blocks for making syllables that have 2 letters in them, and 2 blocks for making syllables that have 3 letters in them. In this lesson, we'll learn 2 more syllable blocks that we can use to make syllables that have 4 letters in them. Here's the first one. This syllable block can be used for making syllables using 4 letters. Specifically, this block is used with a vertical vowel. Let's take a look at a quick example. 앉아 주세요. This phrase means, please sit down. You'll notice that the very first syllable has 4 letters in it. Remember from the last lesson where we learned about blending syllables using the empty consonant. When using a 4-letter syllable, if the next syllable starts with the empty consonant, you'll blend the sound of the very last letter at the bottom of the syllable into the next syllable. So here in this example, the very last letter at the bottom of our 4-letter syllable will blend into the next syllable. Here, 아, becoming 자. So you could read this sentence like this. 앉아 주세요. Remember that this only changes how a word is pronounced and not how it's written. However, if we want to use a horizontal vowel, we'll need a different 4-letter syllable block. Here's that second block. This block also uses 4 letters and can be used when you have a horizontal vowel. Here's a quick example. 등을 긁어요. This sentence means I scratch my back. Here, the first syllable in 긁어요 is a 4-letter syllable, and this syllable uses the horizontal vowel and 2 syllables at the bottom. So we know that sounds travel through the empty consonant, and this is important to know, especially for 4-letter syllables. Let's take a look at a few more examples of 4-letter syllables and sounds that flow through the empty consonant. Try reading these examples on your own. You can pause the video here. Here are the answers. 어제 읽은 서류. This means the documents I read yesterday. 밝은 날. This means bright day. 값이 좋아요. This means the price is good. 흙을 먹어요. And this means I eat dirt. In all 4 of those examples, the empty consonant was used after the 4-letter syllable. But what about when a 4-letter syllable is not followed by an empty consonant? Normally, if a 4-letter syllable is followed by an empty consonant, it's simple to read. Here's another example. How would you read this? Take a moment and pause the video if you'd like. Here's how to read it. 삶이. But what if the same 4-letter syllable was not followed by an empty consonant? What if it were just written like this? How would you read it? Actually, we haven't yet learned how to read this, so let's cover that right now. I should let you know that it's very common to find this consonant, called 릴, together with another consonant at the bottom of 4-letter syllables. Here are 2 examples. Most of the time, whenever you see a syllable with a 릴 at the bottom together with another consonant, the 릴 will not be pronounced. So for the first one, the 릴 will not be pronounced, and you can simply read this syllable as 삼. And for the second one, you can simply read it as 흙. This doesn't apply all of the time, but it does most of the time. A very common exception to this rule is the word for 8, which is pronounced the opposite way as 여덟. Remember that this only applies when there is no empty consonant after a 4-letter syllable that has a 릴 at the bottom. And there are also other combinations of 2 consonants that might appear at the bottom of a 4-letter syllable besides ones containing a 릴, and we'll talk about those in a future episode. So by now we've covered a total of 10 consonants and 14 vowels. We've also learned 6 syllable blocks. So let's put everything together that we've learned and do some quick practice. Try reading these examples on your own. You can pause the video here. Here are the answers. 옮기다. 앉아요. 저는 미국인이에요. 삶. 흙. 밟아요. Practice making your own 4-letter syllables and reading them to yourself. Remember that the key to learning Hangul quickly is practicing it as much as possible. Thanks for watching, and in the next lesson, we'll learn about double consonants. And I upload new videos to this channel every week, so click subscribe and follow along. 그럼 다음에 또 봐!